So what's going on? I'm your host, Kash. This is my man, Nahbi Reality, on the right of me right here. On the far right is my man, BxYungGz.
From the block to the spot, it's all about hip-hop. Welcome to the trap.
Yeah, boy, what's going on with y'all, man? How y'all feeling today?
Yeah, new money, man. It's time to, time to get back everything they took from us.
Turn that beat off. Yo, man, so what's good, man? We back with the Chop Shop for the first time in a long time.
It's been a minute.
You know, if you the first time you're tuning in,
I'm just sharing the link real quick for everybody to check out. So you got lazy motherfuckers off of Facebook.
Thank you for that. Thank you for
Always
letting us know that.
you don't want to click.
You know, this is our first time in a long time on the Chop Shop.
Long time.
Yo,
Well, we've been behind the
how
scenes
many
doing
years
things.
is a long time if you think about it?
I mean, I don't know. What do you consider a long time?
We was on for 3 years. We started in 2014, and we did 3 years. So that was 2017. So we haven't done a podcast in 5 years.
How many years was that?
We did 3 years, right? We did 3 years from 2014, I want to say, to 2017 or 2015 to 2018.
Yep.
And now it's 2020.
8 years in the making.
So we had what,
What
4?
was the first year we started? Like really?
14.
All right. So let's talk about that a little bit because you wanted to. Let's talk about that.
Put the phone down,
I'm just hold on
stupid.
because I'm sharing this real quick and then I'm.
Back to 20.
Don't ask me questions. I just ask. Don't ask questions. Here we go with this.
No, what I'm
stuff,
saying
man.
is like, what do you remember when we first started? Let's talk about that.
What do I remember?
Yeah, like what do you remember going on? Like what do you remember about the history of like? 'Cause a lot of people don't realize how crazy it is how the whole thing came about because we didn't intend to do a podcast.
No, I kind of just like fell in our lap.
The circumstances
Mode, doing music and
Yeah.
all that. Universal Disciples.
Yeah.
UD
Yeah, at the time, yeah, you did.
at the time.
And then I had
You was doing a podcast with someone else.
yeah, rest in peace to Johnny Armani for pulling me into the boss status podcast at Music Fiend, and that's what really started it all. And I hadn't really had an intention to do podcasting. And at that time, what year did we say it was?
14?
It was either 2014 or 2015.
So that means it was brewing since 13 or whatever.
Yeah, so
you
probably
know what
like
I'm saying?
so like 2014 we're saying then. And then like I remember so Johnny hit me up and he pulled me in and I was just kind of like a side host for that show. And I learned a little bit
you
being
stole
on
the
the
show?
show. Yeah, why?
He does all the time.
Well, I remember learning, the process of how things work behind the scenes of the podcast and everything like that. And then a lot of people don't realize how that whole shit went down, how crazy it was because at that time we had UD, right, Universal Disciples, like you said, and then Johnny Amani was supposed to host an event put on by the person that was running Boss Lady. The Boss Lady chick. She was the one who ran the Boss Status Chop podcast that I was the co-host on via Johnny Amani. And Johnny Amani was supposed to host this big giant event in Massachusetts that had EPMD, Inspector Deck, and Ghostface Killer performing. And I've never really talked about this on air. We did the Chop Shop for a couple of years, but this is the first time I ever talked about this on air. Really about
I think
what
we talked
happened.
about it on the show one time.
I didn't get too deep. I didn't really tell the whole story. Yeah, I didn't tell them. Right now, I'm not gonna take a long time, but I'm gonna really tell the real story. We never really talked about it because there was a lot of crazy stuff that happened around it. So, anyways, Johnny Amani, who's now passed away, who was a good friend of mine, he pulled me onto the podcast, and then after a while of doing it for a while, he was supposed to host the EPMD, Ghostface Killer, and Inspector Deck show up in Mass. Well, he had a falling out right before, like the day before the show, with the lady who ran the podcast, Boss Lady. And she called me last minute and she says, Nahbi, what's up? I want you to host this event, And I'm like, I don't know because I'm friends with Johnny and he was supposed to do it and I didn't really feel comfortable about it. I talked to my crew. They said they feel like I should do it. They feel like I should take the opportunity. And I talked to my girl at that time, Lisa. She was really the one that really pushed me to do it. Lisa, my kid's mom, she really, really pushed me to do it. She just as far as she was like, you should do it. It's an opportunity for you. You're not doing anything wrong. Because I'm a very loyal person to a fault. So anyways, I did the event. and there's a lot to that, but I'm gonna abbreviate it. The event was a
Thank
fucking
you.
disaster show. It was a shit show. Okay. First of all, $30,000 went missing at the door.
Damn.
All right, so EPMD, Ghostface Killer, and Inspector Deck got paid half their money but didn't show up. There's all these dudes that paid a couple $100 to open up for these dudes, and not only are they, so Ghostface Killer doesn't show up to the show, EPMD don't show up to the show, Inspector Deck don't show up to the show, and Homegirl, the girl who's running the whole show, she's not at the show. So I'm hosting, and I'm feeling the pressure. Dudes are threatening the violence because they paid a couple $100 and they ain't open up.
They ain't gonna see who they came to see.
People want their money. Ghostface ain't there. EPMD's not there. Everybody's like, yo, Nahbi's the host. He's on a show. I got threatened with violence. I mean, it got real sticky. In the mix of it all, I had met some people that I looked up to that night for the first time. I met Capadonna for the first time that night. I met Buddha Monk the first time that night. I met one of my favorite all-time rappers of all time. Like one of my top favorite. And you can even hear some of his influence in the way that I rap. Hellraiser from Sons of Man. I got to meet him that night.
Heaven Raiser.
Yeah, now they call it Heaven Raiser. And I also met Jimmy Kang. All of which of the people I just said would later on become family. So I had already met Judah Priest, a Wu-Tang Brooklyn Zoo affiliate who's now a brother. Fellow Zoo bully. At the time, like I said, we were just UD and we didn't have the podcast. So Buddha Monk, there was this one part where Buddha Monk had got really upset because everything was messed up and they had told him to come through and then they were trying to charge him for bringing his people in and he was performing for free and nobody else was showing up. They had Cat perform. I mean, it was just a shit show and everybody was aggravated and I didn't get his music right. And Buddha Monk fucking got on stage and he was all, and I had talked to him, but I didn't really know him. He got all upset and he spiked the mic on the floor, like slammed it on the floor and walked off. And everybody in the place was like just dead silent. And I picked up the mic and I'm like, all right, what a great show. Buddha Monk, everybody, Buddha Monk, Buddha Monk. And I heard Buddha laugh as he was walking off stage, even though he was mad. And then later on during the show, I mean, because rappers did perform, a couple people did perform, and Capadonna performed, Buddha performed a little bit. And some of the local rappers performed. I even rocked the mic a little bit. But everybody came to the end of the night. And I also got to meet and hang out with the legendary Ron G. Ron G was there. So the end of the night's coming, and people are like, yo, we about to get our guns and shoot this place up, man. Where's our money and the snap, pa. And I'm like, yo, man, I don't know. And I'm like, yo, I should get out of here, man. I was like, but if I leave out the door, if I run out the door, man, first of all, it makes me look weak. And I said, and two, it makes me look, it makes it look like my crew has something to do with it.
As soon as you ran out there, they'd be like, hey, come here, boy, where you going?
Yeah, but I'm saying, but it would have been.
Either give me my money, what did it say? Either give me my money or give me them
cheeks. Yo, but they would have been like, so there's $30,000 missing at the door. The lady's missing.
You just found out.
EPMD, yeah, and then her right hand man calls me and tells me if I value my kids and my life, I should leave, and hangs up the phone. I couldn't get in touch with her, nothing, right? So everybody was mad. Ron G's mad. Real Ghostface Killer and them are mad. They're at the thing.
They never showed up, right? They stayed at the hotel.
Well, not only that, but I'm hearing that they're ready to make a move too. But everybody's ready to create some violence, and I'm in the center of it all. So, anyways, long story short, there's some details I'm not gonna go into, but basically, I was outside and some dudes tried to roll up on me and try to they were gonna hurt me, yo. They was really gonna make a move on me, and I was like, fuck it, is what it is. I was by myself. But as soon as they rolled up on me, Judah Priest and a couple of Wu-Tang affiliates came running over. And they were like, yo, you good, Nahbi? I said, I don't know, man. Am I good? What's up with it? And them dudes backed off. And Buddha Monk had them come over. And then he had Judah Priest and then bring me over to him. And Buddha, I never forget, Buddha starts talking to me. He's like, yeah, man, I like you, man. This and that, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, you got my number? In the back of my head, I'm like, no, I don't fucking know you. I said, but I didn't say that. I said, no. He said, take my number. I really like you, man. I like you, how you move. So Buddha, I ended up giving Buddha my number. Then we ended up coming back to Rhode Island, and people were gonna come to the radio station and were threatening online to shoot it up. There were
97 scene all over.
People were threatening to shoot up the radio station, and I don't think they were playing. They were pretty fucking serious. They were mad because they paid a couple people paid hundreds of dollars to open up for Ghostface Killer and EPMD, and they didn't show. And then there were people that didn't get ticket refunds, and there was all these people threatening all this violence. So DJ Ruckus at the time ran Music Fiend. He had nothing to do with the lady who ran the podcast. She just rented slot.
Get into the space.
Yeah, into the space. But people didn't know that, so everybody's grouping the radio station that he had and us and everything together. And people were online, and there was somebody online. I'm not gonna say who it was, but there was somebody online who was bad mouth and saying I ran out the door, this and that. And I checked the dude and made him take the post down. And then clarify.
So then we just kind of like, she didn't come back. She disappeared. She went AWOL. She went off the map.
And people were still mad about it, so there had to be a way for us to separate ourselves and the radio station from her.
So we kind of just like took over the podcast time, just over necessity. You know what I'm saying? And
not because we wanted to. Honestly, it was the best strategic move at the time. We talked. We talked about it.
About that shit. Like, yo,
we talked about it.
Yeah. It was like, yo, let's do it because
everybody thought we should do it except for Mike Boston.
So?
Why you put Mike Boston on blast like that?
Because he said to me not to do it. He's the only one, and I like bringing it up, motherfucker. I like Mike. Yeah, Mike. I love you, Mike.
That's why we hear that.
Mike, man, bust my ears.
I love you, Mike, but he told me not because he felt like he was right. He felt like we had too much on our plate at the time because we were trying to do the music thing. So go ahead, Cash, please.
Yeah, so we ended up taking over the podcast slot that she left because she went AWOL, she went missing,
and we wanted everybody to know that we wasn't part of what she was doing.
And so this is before podcasts was what podcasts are now.
Everybody wasn't doing one.
I mean there was podcasts out. There was a lot of podcasts. Obviously, we wasn't the first, but it wasn't oversaturated with podcasts like it is now. Like there's a podcast every corner you turn, somebody got a new podcast.
Yeah, for real.
But but we didn't care about building our followers. We just went there.
Wasn't trying to make money either. We were just doing it.
Yeah, we just went there to get drunk and just watch and talk our shit. You know what I'm saying? Talk to each other because we're gonna do that.
Play videos.
Yeah, because we're gonna do that anyway. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do that anyway. We're gonna sit there and talk. It was funny, and on our first episode, we had Buddha Monk as our as our guest.
Was it your boy Mastermind?
No.
Yeah. No. The first guest was Buddha.
No, first guest was Buddha, and then that so Buddha Monk was with the general in the Brooklyn Zoo family, which was the Brooklyn extension of Wu-Tang. And actually, some of those dudes predate the actual formation of Wu-Tang. He was ODB's right-hand man. Once again, he was at the show, and we ended up linking up with him, and we ended up becoming part of the Zoo Bullies family, and that's when UZD was born.
So so we just wanted to give a little bit of history and why you might go look on the page and see that there's a big gap between episodes and shows, and that's why what I'm saying. And
well, we didn't really explain. We explained what happened, but we didn't explain that we went off the air for a while because we were going through some transitions and some changes. We used to be on Music Feed, and then we changed our location.
Yeah, Nahbi transitioned from a woman to a man. He was going through his transition.
That's what happened. You can do that. No, you call me they.
He had to take a lot of estrogen.
My pronouns are they.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That guy.
They.
That guy.
No, you can't say guy.
Oh, okay. That's right.
They.
You right.
They and them.
So you got a little bit of writing. You writ down a little bit of something there. What you got to do?
I was looking at all. Okay, so this is what we used to really do with the Chop Shop is just kind of like bring up like the current events and then just give our take on it. So so for people who don't know, a lot of rappers have been hit with this, but specifically lately, a lot of rappers have been hit with the RICO Act. The RICO Act was originally enacted. So here's what happens: when you have a criminal organization, a lot of times the people at the top are insulated. The people that give the orders to do the hit or sell the drugs. So the government got tired of that.
Insulated. When they say insulated, it means they keep their hands clean.
They give the order.
Isolated.
Yeah,
isolated.
Like they're never in the room when the murder happens, and they're never in the room with the drugs. So you can't take, and it makes sense. So you can take out the little guy, but you can't take out the boss because he's the bank. That makes sense. That relates also to like rappers. Like for instance, like if there was going to be a crime to commit by G Unit, you're not going to have 50 do it. You're going to have Tony Yayo or one of the other dudes do it.
Somebody you never even heard of.
Or somebody you never heard of do it. Or like same thing with Wu-Tang. You'll have a Wu-Tang affiliate that's not that famous make the move. It's the same way in any type of organization. So anyways, the Racketeering Act, the RICO Act, was enacted originally to go after the mafia because the government was tired of locking up the foot soldiers, but the main guys behind it were getting away with it. So they created the RICO Act,
which you got to keep your hands clean. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So the RICO Act it stands for the Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organization Act. So what it does is it basically if me and Cash tell G's to commit a crime, but they can't really prove that. But they know it. But they know G's did it. All they have to do to charge me and Kash with the same crime is prove that we're active members of the same organized criminal group.
Sent by a hit from the
No,
top.
they don't even.
That's only for the leader.
No, they don't have to prove. They don't have to prove
That's
that.
only for the leader.
Yeah, because
no.
because
There's the thing. Rico, the leader, gets charged. He gets charged with everything.
Yeah.
First and foremost, because they made a case out of
But they can charge anybody in the organization
that is affiliated. Even if you drove a vehicle
But-
for him to go do this.
The point he was trying to make is how they can tie in the head person who keeps his hand clean.
Yeah.
With
They tie
everybody
him in
else.
because
They just prove that he's part of the organization.
No. They prove that he's a shot caller.
Yeah.
That they have to go back to him for anything that gets approved and be done. You know what I'm saying? That's how they tie in the head guy. You know what I'm saying?
You're right about that, but it goes deeper than that because they can charge anybody just proving they're a member of
Yes,
the
I know that. But when I'm talking about the head person, like the head guy, like the guy top of the line, which in this case would be Young Thug and Gunner. You know what I'm saying?
It's more than that, though.
They get charged with all those crimes because
they can prove
they know he called the shots. Like nothing get done.
Without their call.
Yeah, exactly. So
they've been using the RICO Act on the. So anyways, there's two people. So three rappers have been have RICO cases.
Who's the
right
third
now.
one?
Casanova.
Oh wow.
And it's interesting.
Also,
it's interesting. They're all Bloods too.
What's that? YFN Lucci.
Yeah.
He has a RICO charge.
So let's talk about Young Thug first, and then we'll move on from that.
Yeah,
All right. So Young Thug house was raided, and they are alleged. Not only is Young Thug an alleged member, it's also alleged that he's one of the founders of
He's the leader
of YSL, which is Young Slime Life, and which is a blood set. Based in Atlanta. They're Bloods from Atlanta, which there are a lot of Bloods and Crips. Look at Baby's a Crip. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean,
Baby's a Blood.
Yeah. No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's a Crip. Baby's a Crip.
No, he's not.
Birdman?
Lil Baby.
Oh, Little Baby.
Okay, you got it.
I meant to say, I'm sorry.
Birdman, Little Baby.
I'm sorry. Nah. Yeah, Birdman. But them dudes is fake anyways, man. Them dudes bought their way in. But anyways.
Nah. They got it through Mac 10.
Yeah, them dudes.
Remember with Mac 10? Because they was kind of Crips. They was doing Crip shit.
Yeah, man.
They was doing Crip shit before.
Yeah, we
but
go.
they were Mac 10. Mac 10 signed to Cash Money. Mm-hmm. And that's when they started doing the blood.
Oh man, them dudes is cons, man. Anyways,
wow.
So Young Thug and Gunna were arrested. Did you see what happened though? So they charged him with the RICO charges, but even if he could beat that, we caught him with illegal firearms and a sort of shotgun, which is worse than a regular illegal firearm because it's culture.
It's automatic. No, it's automatic Fed joint. When you got the sawed off, it's automatic Fed.
So they raided his house, and there was 56 people in the charges. So my point is that
I think it was 20 something.
Altogether, it was 56. So maybe it was 56. Oh, 56.
Well, allegedly, approximately.
Yeah.
You know.
So they're hitting more. They're hitting more people with these RICO charges, and some people think it's a good thing. Some people think it's a bad thing. Some people think it's a good thing because they feel like that too many people have been untouchable committing crimes. The reason why people think it's a bad thing is because a lot of times, just like the Rockefeller laws, right, back in the 80s, which made it so that 1 gram of crack cocaine was the same as like a couple ounces of coke, which was obviously a racial fucking thing.
Yeah.
Locked up, and obviously we knew who had the crack cocaine, who had the coke in the 80s. The white boys had the coke, so that was a racial thing.
Poverty stricken in the gutter.
So the people that see the bad side of this with the RICO, bad side, they're locking up killers. The bad side of this is that these shits always end up becoming racial at one point, and they always end up affecting the black and brown community.
Well, the thing with the crack and the coke, Donald Trump did away with that last year, I want to say. And
Rockefeller laws put a lot of black people in jail.
And it was retroactive, so some of the people that was in jail for drug offenses that got, excessive charges, got out of jail because of their sentence automatically lessened. Because he reversed that law for crack. So a lot of people that had like 30, 40 years that been in jail.
They got out.
That been in jail for like 20 years actually got out of jail. Yeah.
Wow.
So check this out. I wanted to add one more detail on that Young Thug thing. And this is nothing new. This is something that we saw with the Bobby Shmurda case. This should be a lesson to you guys out there making records and what you're saying. They're using his social media post and his lyrics against him.
Everything.
Yeah.
That should be you guys. I just want to understand some of these rappers out here because that's why I can't rap like some of you dudes. Like I'm not trying to get indicted.
That's what I always say, man. These dudes are they rappers or are they street dudes rapping? See, like in our era, it was a little bit different.
Yeah,
you had to get signed You know what I'm saying? You had to go. Most of these guys were went to college.
Yeah.
They didn't tell us that at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ice Cube, big dudes like Ice Cube.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these dudes went to college.
Yeah.
But they was portraying gangsters. They was rappers portraying gangsters.
Yeah.
Now to be a rapper, all you have to be is popular.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is have a following.
So you think there's more people that are actually gangsters as rappers?
Yeah, these are before we had a saying gangsters don't rap. Back in the day.
Now it's different.
Now gangsters rap because it's accessible, it's easy.
And it's more illegal money. And some of them use it to further their criminal enterprise.
I don't think they care about the money, so to speak. All you gotta do is have followers. Like, say if you have like 20,000 followers on your now you got 20,000 fans basically. As soon as you drop a track, 20,000 people got access to it.
It's gonna turn into 200,000.
And it's legit money to either A, get away from the streets, or B, fund some of that criminal enterprise. Some guys use that money to further it.
But that's all they know.
Yeah.
These are dudes that just happen to get now they get YouTube views, they might get some spins, they getting a couple $1,000s, now they hood stars.
Yeah.
And the other dudes are jealous. So
now don't mess with them.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like these dudes are street dudes rapping.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, it was
and the
different
contrast to when we was younger, when it was like
these dudes
rappers
are imitating
rapping about street dude stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a handful of real gangsters, like you got MC8s, you got the Mac 10s, and then dudes like that. You know what I'm saying? Like there was real street dudes. Like even and a lot of times the dude that we didn't think was a street dude that we was looking at him like he's soft was the real street dude. Like dudes like Heavy D.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like dudes like that. We look at him like
Doodle Bug from Diggable Planets is a G.
Jam Master J.
Yeah, Jam Master J, exactly. Like
he was the one who had the trap going.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like so it's different now. Like all we gotta do is have his followers, and then they say, you know, another rapper got killed. He's a rapper because he got like 30,000 views in his videos. You know what I'm saying? That makes him a rapper. Yeah. I guess like if you don't got nothing else to call him, like they can say another gangster died, or is it just to make rap look bad? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. That's a deep question.
Social media opened all that up. Now everything's televised. Everything's more into it.
And not only that, everybody got their own TV show.
Exactly. Yeah. So everybody can start their
own personal TV show. And make it look like whatever you wanted to look like.
Was it the Truman Show?
Yeah.
2022.
Everybody got one of those.
Be able to put your own views out there.
Mm-hmm. And one hand it's a great thing. On the other hand, is like
isn't everything like that though in this world? Everything's a double-edged sword.
Duality,
everything's a double-edged sword at that. Like too much of anything is bad. Like even water is bad if you drink too much of it. Like
why you steal my line, man?
What?
You stole my line. You took that.
I didn't steal your line.
Yes, you did. I always say that. I never said that.
Do you have it copyrighted? Do you have video proof of this?
Yeah, man.
We do a lot of recording now, so let me show you the video. Show me the video.
Go back into the archives.
All right, so I think it's really dope that artists from.
But when you're on Young Thug's level, you gotta cut it out, man. You can't.
You have to.
You can't
have
do
so many people.
Oh, look at this guy. Look at homeboy that got locked up. The blood dude that was playing on the Patriots. They got locked up for killing.
Hernandez.
Oh, Hernandez.
Yeah.
He's just crazy.
He murked himself.
He's just crazy.
At that point, when you commit suicide,
but
he should have had other people doing
shit.
shit.
The smart thing he did with the suicide, though.
Yeah, it was.
It was a loophole.
Because he saved all his
contract.
Yeah.
So
his assets for his family.
So what happened was he got found guilty, but he was he filed for an appeal. Yep. And the appeal got accepted. So that automatically kind of like made his non-guilty in the state of Massachusetts. In limbo? Yeah, it made his non-guilty because he innocent to proven guilty. He did an appeal, so the non-guilty was kind of like idle. In terms of like its recognition, I guess you want to say that's the state law of Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. So because his
appeal was accepted,
appeal was active. If he died, his contract still had to be honored by the Patriots.
Yeah, but if he was found guilty, it wouldn't be.
Yeah, because like it's a stipulation in the contract that if you do any criminal activity type stuff, you go to jail, then your contract could be null and void. Yeah. So the fact that he did appealed it and then
he bought some time.
No, he actually gave that contract. Like I'm assuming the way they told the story, the contract goes to his wife and kids.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Otherwise, it would have been broke. He would have still
maybe not broke, but that's extra money on top of what he already had. You know what I'm saying. So that's kind of and in a way that's an honorable thing if you think about it. You know what I'm saying. Like I mean,
you already put yourself and your family in a situation, and you're gonna sacrifice yourself to give them everything that you have
Yeah,
left.
Well, yeah, because he had already done so much.
Yeah, you already destroyed. You already.
Yeah.
But bringing him up, my whole point about him is when you're at a level like that where you're the bank, you're not supposed to be committing the crimes.
No.
You're either supposed not to do the crimes or have somebody to do it that's expendable, or you can bail out.
And not only that, your homies are not supposed to let you get in that position to where you mess up.
Exactly. You're the bank.
That's their money too.
Yeah, you're the bank.
Yeah, their money too. Yeah, that's my payday too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're the bank, so it doesn't make any sense.
He's
supposed to keep them out the way.
It's the reason why the mob had the leaders insulated. They were the bank. It's the same. So this all brings us back to the RICO conversation. This is why they created the RICO, because they understood the way the structures.
No, they didn't understand nothing. They cheaters, man.
It's all because somebody snitched and opened it up and they created these.
Catch me with something. Don't put a camera at the stoplight and send me a letter in the mail talking about I ran a red light. Catch me in the act. Don't cheat. Do your job, man.
They showed this one pyramid kind of going with everything that's going on. Yeah. They showed biker gang, and all of them got to walk. It was more than 50 of them. They all kept their mouth shut.
When they were shooting outside?
Everybody.
It don't matter.
Everybody. They walked. Because nobody was speaking.
Nobody talked.
So this is the reason why these cases happen.
Yeah, because somebody
talks. One person
he's right, though.
sits there and says,
somebody talks.
Yup.
I don't want to do this time.
He was in this place.
Not only that,
with that person.
No, but when they got
all up.
Surveillance, they got text messages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the biker gang, that was all visible. Everybody's like this.
But you said it earlier. Everybody's looking like, who snitched? Who snitched? You snitched on yourself.
Yeah.
When you put it on social media and you put it in your songs,
you
snitched on yourself. Yeah. So why are you looking for who snitched?
Yeah, because these guys, they brag about shit that can be traced. Like, look at Bobby. That's why Bobby Shmurda got in trouble. He was bragging about a murder that really happened on record.
Yo, but now here's a deeper question for you. You ready for this?
Go ahead.
Isn't it keeping it real, the essence of hip hop?
Yeah, but not to the point of getting yourself indicted, though.
Whoa, hold on now. Hold on now.
To get yourself indicted?
Hold on now. Is it keeping it real, the essence of hip hop, and that's keeping it ultra real?
I don't know, man. I think it should be a line, though. There's a line of honesty. I don't know, man. That's a tough question, but I'm saying there's a line of honesty. There's a line of honesty, like to incriminate yourself. Like there's no. Fuck that. Fuck that.
No, but does that. Another question: does that make this generation of rappers more real than our generation of rappers?
Maybe more real, but also more dumb.
But does that make them more real?
I don't know. Then it comes to the question, what's real? Like, what are we saying? What's real?
Real is
just saying stuff, whatever it is?
Real is when you shoot.
Did you commit a murder? Yes, I did.
Nobody
That's
asked
real?
Real is when you shoot a nigga down the street and you come back to the house and be like, yo, I shot a nigga down the street in front of the bodega.
That's telling on yourself. That's not keeping it real.
Telling it to your peoples?
Nah, fuck
or
that.
telling it online?
Nah. Telling on yourself is not keeping it real.
Boss of real shit, King Paul was doing that.
He's an idiot.
He beat 3 murder cases though.
How about O'Malley? He's looking like he's about to walk too. And they say
didn't he have 2 bodies in the car?
Yo, it was crazy. They saying this is what they're saying.
He had 2 bodies in the car?
He shot the people in the car and rode around and then said it was a shootout. Then presented the situation. They was like, yo, you guys are bugging. But still locked them up.
They said he shot his friends, drove around with him, got out the car.
And then did that song, Murder on My Mind.
Shot into the car.
Shot into the car, yeah.
Like niggas are shooting at them. They get back in the car and you know what I'm saying?
And saying it was some rival joint.
Another misconception.
Murder on My Mind.
Another misconception is
that song.
No, but the dudes that he shot are in that video. That video came before this situation happened. That's what I'm saying.
Because it was 4 of them, and 2 of them was locked up. The other 2 passed away, got murdered.
Yeah, and those dudes are in that video. So
that's crazy.
In the Murder on My Mind video. So that song doesn't necessarily, correlates with the murder. People say that all the time, though. People always say it, but it didn't happen that way. Those dudes are in the video.
But they still haven't put any pieces of that together. That's why they're saying he may walk.
Yeah,
that's why I'm looking at the
that's
cover.
That's pretty crazy, bro.
Friends, brothers, enemies. That's the joint Cash.
That's pretty fucking.
You know what I'm saying, yo.
So I wanted to say that I think it's dope that a lot of the like really dope '90s artists like lately last couple of years are really getting another shine again, and I'm loving it. Like the Locks have had a resurgence with the verses,
God, after the verses,
right? The verses, and Wu-Tang and Nas just announced a tour together. Which is
26 cities.
26. They're coming to Boston.
And they coming to Manchester.
Manchester, that's what it is. Manchester.
Yeah.
So Wu-Tang and Nas are doing a New York State of Mind tour. That is going to be bananas. It's just like I said. So you got that. You got the locks. I just like the resurgence of the '90s hip hop.
I don't think it was necessarily a resurgence. They always been around. You know what I'm saying? Like
I know, but Nas and Wu-Tang ain't done no tour together like that. Like, come on, that's
they done tour separately.
Yeah, but together, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's just
That's a lot of hip hop at night. In one night.
Yes, we have to present this.
Think of how dope that Nas is that he could be put on that same thing, that it's Wu-Tang and Nas. Like, think about that, though.
Yeah,
like, how dope he is.
That's two big entities.
Here's another question I have, right?
Yeah.
I think that Jay-Z,
Yep.
you know, people say who's better, Jay-Z, Nas, you know.
Yeah.
Yep. Nas has been better than Jay-Z for like the last 5 to 7 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So does that make Nas better than Jay-Z automatically by now?
I think you'd have to do a totality thing. I think
that is totality, nigga. What you talking about?
What you mean? Like, I think you'd have to look at it from a whole career standpoint.
So in the whole career,
Who do I think is better?
No. I'm talking about like in the eyes of people, like
like
in general, like the eyes, because you know, say who's the best. When you say who's the best, automatically you go autopilot. You go Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, blah, 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 right?
Okay.
So, but you know, everybody, a lot of people, you know, fluctuates who they have number one, Nas or Jay-Z. You know, and if you had them neck and neck back then, right, they should be neck and neck. You know, say whoever you like.
When they was just rapping.
Yeah, when they was in their prime, they was neck and neck, right? But Nas been better than Jay-Z for like the last 5-7 years.
Or his projects that he came out with recently.
Yeah, period. You know what I'm saying? He's been clearly better than Jay-Z for the last, you know, let's just say 5 years.
And not flaunting raps, like, you know, like
and still being him.
Yeah, you
know
know,
what I'm
bringing
saying?
it back to the Nas that we know in the '90s when we was listening to.
So in my book, that makes Nas automatically better than, like, if you put Jay-Z number one, you can't. Like I say, you can't, because Nas, if you're gonna do that, Nas is number one. He's the longevity, the quality, and then even to his older years, being better than Jay now, Nas has to be better than Jay-Z. That's my theory.
I think he is. I've always thought he was, though. That never.
Yeah, the ether survived.
I think he's had a better career in certain ways too. But Jay-Z's made more money.
Jay-Z's last one, the Superfly, I think was it? The diss against Nas, the ether killed.
Oh no, it was Super Ugly.
Super Ugly, yes.
Yeah, that was Super Ugly.
Yeah, he had his numbers, but
his back was against the wall. You know,
pound for pound lyrically though, he can't. He's not better than Nas.
Burn slow.
He's not. You know, and people always say Nas don't know how to choose beats. He choose whack beats or whatever.
I mean, but that has nothing to do with the lyrical content. I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes his beats are questionable. That is definitely. People
say that a lot. You know what I'm saying?
I think
his last joint he did was with Hit Boy, right?
His last two, like after people start criticizing his beats, number one, like Vlad TV, he said he did it a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like he criticized Nas and his beat picking and his beat choices. But when you that nice, man, the beat don't matter.
Yeah, Vlad's opinion don't matter.
That beat don't matter, man. That beat gonna do whatever Nas say. That beat's like, you ready, Nas? What we gonna do? You want me to drop
mic?
You gonna go chorus right now? Or we're gonna right now. We're gonna go to the chorus. Whatever you want to do, Nas. This is what we gonna do. That beat. I hear Nas rap. I don't even hear the beat half the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
His voice overpowers it. You just listen.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
Did a track with his father.
Yeah, that was that double album he did, right? The double album.
Yeah.
He did the double album, but then he released King's Disease two albums, right?
Yeah, I think it's 2 King's Disease.
Finally got his first Grammy, right?
Yeah.
Got his first Grammy.
I think he did. I gotta look that up. My phone's on.
He got his first Grammy.
What was it for? I forgot. I
don't know if it was King's Disease or. A lot of people felt like the album didn't even deserve it. They just felt like he was overdue for it.
Yeah, he got King's.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of people that got
King's Disease 2.
Which one did he get a Grammy for? Look up which one did he get a Grammy for. I think it was King's Disease 1 that he got a Grammy. A lot of people felt like he didn't even deserve it for that actual project. It was just so overdue. I mean,
like a makeup call.
Yeah, kind of like that's how it was.
The album won the Best Award for Best Rap Album in the 63rd Annual Grammy Awards.
Yeah.
Which one?
The King's Disease 2.
It
was produced by Nas and Hit Boy.
That was last year, right?
2020. It released.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot of people that got Grammys. If you go back and look at the list of people that has Grammys and Nas don't, you look at dudes like Lil Yachty got a great, like, come on.
I know, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
You gave Lil Yachty a Grammy before you gave one to Nas, man. Come on, man.
Come on.
I mean, that has a lot to do with the politics of the industry too, though.
Yeah, it do.
Like they don't want to see guy. He's too conscious and too like, and it's tough to maintain a career as long as people like him and Wu-Tang and being conscious, like, and being people that promote positivity and
because there's always going to be
education.
real rap and there's always going to be that.
Well, the system don't want education.
At times.
Don't want people that are trying to educate other people to be self-sufficient and to think for themselves. Because if people think for themselves too much, then they're not
They can
victims of the
stand up
system.
for
Yeah, exactly.
To the higher powers.
Yeah, they're not victims of the system, and without being victims, the system can't run efficiently the way it runs.
With fear.
It has to be able to control the masses. And that's why those of us that have real knowledge of self understand that hip hop has been weaponized against the youth. You know what I mean? It's been weaponized to promote. But look at them. We went from being drug dealers to drug users. We had to worry about getting drug cases. Now we got to worry about these motherfuckers dying overdosing.
Hold on. We just didn't rap about it. They was using drugs back then.
But
too.
not like these. There wasn't the whole.
They ain't exposing it.
They was doing drugs.
People
too.
weren't ODing like these young rappers are.
No.
Let's go back to the 90s. How many rappers OD'd? How many rappers OD'd in the 90s, Cash?
But
And
again,
passed away.
How many OD'd?
listen,
OD'd?
but again, well, let's go back to before there was rap. The first epidemic of opioid epidemic back in the 70s and the Vietnam War.
Heroin.
Who was dying in?
Yeah.
A lot of entertainers.
Yeah.
Mostly, there was
You're
no
right.
rap. There was no rap.
You're right.
R&B
You're right.
singers.
It was. You're right.
A lot of them passed
You're
away.
right.
Because
But I'm
they
talking
had-
about like in the 90s when rap, the brothers wasn't dying for overdosing.
because that wasn't a popular drug. That wasn't a hot drug at that time. Niggas were still using coke.
Yeah.
Niggas still using other drugs. You know what I mean? And but those are the type of drugs you don't really overdose on like that. You know what I'm saying? And they wasn't talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like the first time I really heard a rapper really start openly talk about using drugs. Well, we go back to start with the Wu-Tang. They talk about using like hard drugs
Coke,
openly.
the woos, yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They kind of like at the time we didn't really know what they was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because they like the way they
The slang.
and the way they put it into their music. You know, they didn't really catch on to it if you
Wasn't in the know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So then it was Trick Daddy. For me, it was like Trick Daddy. When I first heard Trick Daddy talk about sniffing coke and eating monkey, I was like, oh, snap. You never heard a rapper talk about eating monkey on the track. You know what I mean?
For real, yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't really say.
You don't think that there's an influx of rappers dying from drugs now?
There's this drug. Well, let's go back to what I said. They be keeping it real. They be snitching on themselves.
I don't know about that keeping it real shit.
They keeping it real. They telling what they doing. They telling the drugs they using.
Oh my god.
That goes along with the whole thing. These dudes, they're gonna and on the other side of the coin, it goes back to what I was saying about our era. These niggas was lying. They talk about they selling drugs. They ain't sold the drug. They using them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess they got a point there. So I guess it's really just about perception. I guess. I don't know.
It's not about perception. It's about the facts.
Well, I'm saying it's about perception, about how you
Exposing
look at
your
it, whether you're
life
willing to look at
on
it like
track.
that or not. You know what I'm saying? Like whether you accept that as keeping it real or not, because I think it's fucking dumb.
What else could it be? It's dumb, but it's good. All right, we'll call it this. I'll meet you in the middle. This is where keeping it real goes bad.
All right, keeping it real goes wrong.
Come on, Jimi Hendrix, Rick James, they all been talking about all that stuff.
I mean,
back
they was
in
all
the
doing the
day.
Acid, the heroin, all of that stuff.
Jimi Hendrix, somebody who died of overdose.
Yup.
You know, so you know.
So there's a book that when I was looking at the Young Thug thing, there was this book, this author, and his book that I forgot what the author's name was, but I remember the book. The book was called Trap History: Atlanta Culture and the Global Impact of Trap Music, and it's basically an analysis of how much effect at the Atlanta music scene, which has been the hip hop mecca for a long time. Those of us that are older remember when it was New York. If you wasn't from New York or sounded like New York, you couldn't get signed. They wasn't trying to handle rappers from the South, and then certain rappers from the South broke through. I mean, you had Rap-A-Lot Records from Texas. You had Outkast, UGK, all those different artists that broke. 8-Ball MGG.
Ghetto Boys.
Ghetto Boys, but that's Rap-A-Lot Records. But,
Yeah, I know.
they weren't the only ones, but there was a point in time where if you weren't from New York, you couldn't get a record deal. Then it shifted. And then it became all about the Southern music, and then you had all these East Coast dudes like Designer and stuff like that trying to sound like Atlanta rappers. So it shifted.
It shifted at that Source Awards where Suge said, if you don't want the your CEO all up in your
Dancing.
video. Remember when it was that
9-6, right?
Yeah, I think it was 96. That
Yeah.
Social Awards was in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And then remember when Outkast won the award?
Mm-hmm.
I think they might have been, I forget what they won the award for. And they went up there and they got booed.
Mm-hmm.
They got booed simply because they was Outkast.
Mm-hmm.
They was from down south.
Mm-hmm.
Outkast was not an aggressive group.
No,
Never offensive to nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't from the East or the West.
And they went there, booed those dudes for nothing. And Andre 3000 was like, "What? Y'all ain't got no love for the South?" Da-da-da-da. He said, "All right, we got something to say too." And ever since then, the turning point started.
He's right.
Turning point.
So I think it's interesting. I'm actually going to get this book and read it because I find it interesting, the shift and how it's actually affected the global landscape, because there is trap and drill, drill music, which started in Chicago. Trap and drill influences. I hear music in different languages from all around the world that have trap and drill influence. So it's interesting, you know what I mean? The impact that it's had. So basically, the South winning that struggle of who's the dominant force in the American hip hop rippled out to the rest of the globe. And I find the way that works interesting. So I'm actually going to get the book. It's called Trap History, Atlanta Culture, and Global of Impact Trap Music, if you guys want to check it out.
There's actually a trap museum in
yeah, I
heard about that too, right?
I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah. My daughter went and
It has the pink house, the pink Cadillac in the front, right?
Yeah.
Is that the one that
Yeah.
2 Chainz had on his album?
Yeah.
yeah, it's a trap museum.
36
yeah.
Trap House. Yeah.
What is the book?
No, he did the album with the Wu-Tang beats in there. You talking about that one that he had the cover? No, he didn't have. He had a different. It was a different album.
You said 36 Traps?
Yeah, he did a Wu-Tang. He did the one with all Wu-Tang beats. He did the album. It was actually pretty decent. So
I gotta check that out. I ain't hear that yet.
well,
Yeah,
his
right?
album, he did all Wu-Tang beats, and then he did his joint. It's called 36 Chambers of Trap or something like that. If you look it up, it's pretty decent. So yeah. So basically, like the South won that struggle, and it's been, I don't mind that because there's a lot of, like, some of my favorite artists are from the South. Most of my favorite artists are from the East Coast, specifically New York.
Not mine.
But I have a lot of good, really people that I love that are from the South.
That's crazy. I grew up in Brooklyn, and I listen to more down south and West Coast music. Always, even before it was popular.
I used to listen to more West Coast music when I was younger.
Even when it wasn't that popular as it was now, I would still always listen to down south and West Coast rappers more than I would listen to East Coast for some reason.
The city? Because the city
Yeah.
don't play the city people.
I don't know.
They was playing, the Bone Thug, they was playing, the West Coast, the Snoops, the Dr. Dre's. You already know how hard it is to be in the city and then get played. Yeah, you got to be Jay-Z and somebody like that. So always,
But
that's when people like DJ K-Slay got
all
arrested.
that
So
shit- all that
pushed
shit's
all
different
the
now.
underground hip-hop to light.
Yeah.
DJ K-Slay, he's been with it from the jump.
Yeah.
Since we could remember the Drama King.
Rest in
You
peace.
feel me?
Rest in peace, yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's crazy because, like, the whole paradigm is shifted because, like, you had to have a deal before. Now anybody can get access to
Because independence is a thing now.
Yeah,
The internet,
You just have to pull the
man.
footwork
Yeah, the right
on it.
marketing.
Yeah, there's like
So-
you got to be, if you savvy with the social media, you know how to work those algorithms and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You gonna
Take advantage.
You get your thing. I don't know, man. Like, man, imagine we had this when we was younger, man. Like access. We had the internet, like.
Yeah, but it would have been way
It
different from
was
us.
nothing. Yeah.
Did you hear about Diddy's new record label?
No.
Yeah, for the first time in many years, Puff Daddy launched a new record label called Love Records.
Love,
Right.
right.
It's gonna
He
focus.
changed his name.
It's gonna
to
focus.
Love,
It's
right?
gonna
Yeah,
focus.
he did.
It's gonna focus on R&B music, not hip hop.
Okay.
That's cool. I mean,
I think he was always better with that. Bad Boy brought the chicks back to hip hop, bro.
Well, it's like R&B music right now is a little weird. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because
It's in a weird
R&B's hard.
space.
R&B's hard also.
Well,
You have
yeah.
like
Well,
the Dej Loaf.
but that's
you
more
know what I'm
like-
saying?
that's more like-
You're hearing them singing.
but that's like more like trap soul though.
Yeah.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's where it turned to.
Like Tyson,
It turned to-
Bryson Tiller.
Rhythm and blues.
Bryson
it turned
Tiller.
into trap
you know what I'm saying?
soul.
I was telling somebody, I was like, yo, like these R&B, the trap soul songs, they got too many lyrics. Like our R&B songs, they don't have that many
Ain't
lyrics.
that.
You know what I'm saying? They should be having, I call it
I saw the sun.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It's like short and repetitive.
It's spaced out. You know what I'm saying? It's spaced out. But these should be like, I wonder what's your crib and I told you there was your house. I'm like,
the rhythm is crazy. Yeah. The melodies is the melodic tunes that they shifting. That's what it is.
So they kind of like
they took it to another level.
They took R&B and diluted it. You know what I'm saying? And then like you hear more. It's almost like the R&B singers are rapping, and the rappers are singing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like what is this? Like it's like, you know, and sometimes I think it's like that's how you take over a genre. That's how you gentrify a genre.
Yeah.
That's how you gentrify a genre.
You're right.
It's like attack an all-out attack on rappers right now.
Yeah.
Sending them to jail. They getting killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, being a rapper is dangerous as hell.
Yeah,
like,
man. What I remember Chris Rock said, if you want to kill someone to get away with it,
no white rappers ever get arrested.
You know what they said? Chris Rock said, if you want to,
wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. You heard what I said? No white rappers ever get arrested.
Because everybody knows white people don't commit crimes.
Oh, you're right. That's right.
You know, because they're the ones that just calm the shit down. They be like,
hey, what that dude? Little Zen, right?
Yep.
Little Zen was on camera in California. On camera, the dude, he was at the gas station. He was in the passenger seat, and the dude was behind him messing with him. The dude had his camera out. He's messing with Little Zen's. Little Zen said he cussed him out, and he pointed a gun.
It was used and abused financially for a long time, and I think to a certain degree it still is benefiting certain people that don't have any concern for the community. But I think a lot of people of color have taken more ownership over their masters, where their money goes, their investments, and that's all been a trial by error, trial by fire type of thing. But I'm just saying, I just want to say, as a person of color who grew up influenced by hip hop, it's nice to see people that look like me taking ownership of it. Of their money.
You got to learn from the people's past mistakes.
Yeah.
But what I don't like is when a person who did get, ripped off and played goes back and then do the same thing to another up and coming artist. You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't like. Like almost like treat like it's an initiation or like it's a hazing or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It happened to me. It happened to you too, right? It happened to you? Well, yeah, you got raped the first time you got too. See, it happened to him too. So, I mean, now you rebound and you get back. Like almost make it like a normal thing.
Yeah, fuck that.
Nah, hell no.
Fuck that.
I hear what you're saying. Said the first time he asked Fabulous for an autograph, he got turned down. And he said after that, he never turns nobody down for an autograph.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because of that feeling he got. Like, yo. And if it wasn't because who he was and he overcome what he overcame, he would have not took it as anybody else. Somebody that should have break somebody else. Idolizing somebody and then they crush you like that. You know, like them stands.
But everybody
at the same time, everybody's allowed to have a bad day too.
What Eminem say?
You know what I'm saying though?
He said, "My brother loves you." He stood outside for 4 hours in the freezing snow. He said he stood outside in the snow for 4 hours and he just said no.
Who said that?
Eminem. Yeah. But that's like.
But everybody's allowed to have a bad day too, though, because some of these guys are just regular guys having a regular day, and then people run upon them all the time. And that comes, and you can argue that comes with territory, but everybody's allowed to have a bad day. And I've got days, I've seen everybody in this room have a bad day and act in a way that they shouldn't have, including myself many times.
Yeah,
so
but then
they're allowed to have bad days.
Depending on what you do, you might see that dude like 10 years later. Remember me? Like, no, I never see it. You don't want to. You told me no.
Might be like Benny Blanco.
Yeah, you told
Carlito's
me.
way.
You told me no when I met
you. Gets the last laugh.
Benny Blanco from the Bronx.
You told me no when I seen you outside. I just asked for a little hug and autograph.
Yeah, my little sister was out there.
All I wanted was a hug.
Yeah, all I wanted was
a hug.
All I wanted was a fist bump.
So before we wrap this up, because we're going, let's talk about. So
I was almost curfew time. You gotta go home.
No, I'm just saying that we don't want to go too. Want to keep it. So what can people expect from us, man, moving forward now?
Hey, yo, man, you're going to get some real perspectives, some smart, intelligent commentary, about our interests in lives, Nahbi, like he's dating now, in the gay scene, dating. Again, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna come back. He's gonna come and tell us a lot of stories about
all about it. All about my techno nights with my glitter.
and a blue oyster. You know what I'm saying? The manhole.
It used to be. I left the blue clam. Now it's the blue banana.
all about his adventures at the manhole.
Used to be.
I
can't tell on there. I'm not trying to get indicted.
So we're gonna just give you some good commentary about today's current affairs and stuff that's going on in the world, and Nahbi's very smart with his history, and but I'm always challenging him and make sure Nahbi's facts is on point because we don't want to give out no misinformation. You know
that's for sure. We don't want to do that. Everybody looks up so much shit these days. They'll call us out on it though.
You got to call them out, man. You can't be out there.
No, I just mean like people are like so quick to you know what I mean?
Let
these
them
days.
call us out because that means they watch.
Man. Yeah. That's like you ever see that show Adam Knows Everything?
Yeah. He ruins everything.
Adam ruins everything. I'm sorry. And they have episodes where they go back and fact check when they made mistakes.
Yeah, that's good though. You need to do that because for real, it shouldn't be about being right. It should be about the spreading of information.
Exactly.
Because we're an interconnected species, and the more knowledge that we share with others and they gain, it affects the whole species. We're not just nobody is just one person in the universe existing alone. We're an interconnected species. So to each one teach one actually benefits everybody. And the more that we embrace that, the higher that we'll get. I mean, we only got a limited run on this planet, so we might as well get as far as we can get before we go.
Exactly. And even if you think you know more than the person who's talking to you, you know what I'm saying, you can still, if the conversation is intellectual and, you still might be able to learn something from that person, even though you think you know more than that person about a certain subject, you know what I'm
saying? Sometimes it's not even about like extra knowledge as opposed to like just looking at things in a different way. I think we've experienced that on the Chop Shop with debates that we've had. We've caused each other and other people to look. This goes back to a conversation we had before. We had a guest on the show and she was a lesbian and she had all her friends texting her and inboxing her before she was there to go up and be a guest, but we had like a half an hour before she went up, and her friends were telling her to leave and that she'd be disrespecting the gay community by staying there because they felt that me and Kash were homophobic, and she called us out on it, and we had a discussion about it, and when we left, we're still good friends. She still hits me up. She inboxes me and she still talks to me. And we made her realize that we're not homophobic. That we really just don't fucking. We're like South Park. Everybody gets it.
We're just entertaining at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
In the basement, you gonna get.
But
people were telling her to leave.
Yeah,
they were telling her to leave.
Sure.
We were homophobic, and the crazy stuff was that we weren't like throwing around like gay slurs or saying nothing crazy. We were just being ourselves.
Those are just haters. That's it.
But like I said, we're like South Park. Everybody gets it, bro. Like there's nobody free. Nobody is unapproachable. If we can call each other out, then nobody else is unapproachable.
Yeah. Nobody's immune.
Nobody and no subject is unapproachable. This is our show, our platform, and if you don't like it, don't fucking watch it. Only like 10 years gonna watch anyway. So.
FCC's coming after him. But that's why we had to do this uncensored, because he can't keep his.
I can't. We already got shut down from YouTube.
You know, radio, they was like, this fines. How many times you fight something?
I think that was because Kash said that Batman was gay, and I think that was why we got shut down.
Oh, it was Robin. It was Robin.
No, I said both of them was gay. I said Robin
he did say both.
Batman was boyfriend, yeah. And they come to find out what happened.
Hey.
Who came out the closet?
Hey.
Little boy wonder.
I heard that Bert and Ernie's supposed to be gay now.
Yeah, they said it a long time ago.
Yeah, but I mean, we all knew that one. But anyways.
Yeah, that was obvious.
But it doesn't really matter.
Hey,
kids,
Bert.
it is what it is.
Hey, Bert.
Listen, everything you get from us is always evolution.
Yeah, man.
You had the Chop Shop,
the growth.
Universal Disciples, Universal Zoo Disciples,
Yeah, man.
Universal Collective, freaking everything, the Beat Bank Productions.
We're still here.
Beat
Gritty Works.
Beat Bank Productions is a production of crazy ass
Yeah, man.
producers, man. You gotta go to beatbank.co.
Yeah, .co, man.
Yeah, man. Check it
Go
out.
check it out. You know what I'm saying? Go to Audio Mac and check out my man Fantab Fantab's mixtape, 16 Bar Assassin on Audio Mac.
Yeah, 1 and 2, right?
1 and 2. Go check that joint out. You know what I'm saying? And go check out what's that Crook Rock Organic Vibes.
Yeah, man. Yep.
All your streaming services,
And he's
man.
around everywhere.
Go check that
He'll
Crook
get you
Rock.
for your freaking CMOS. He'll pull up with CDs. Whatever you need.
The Grind King. You know what I'm saying? Go check that out all the time. So we out of here?
Yeah, like I said, we don't, because make it too long, they lose interest, and we're going to have it more in blocks next week, but tune in.
Yeah, people lose interest in you after.
They definitely lose interest in you. So if we just did you covering your face, they'd probably listen longer.
Yeah, okay.
We appreciate everybody that's
Okay.
But yeah, man.
Listen,
We
watch,
love y'all.
chill with us, because this is dope that
We're
all
here.
3 of us is back at it again.
Yeah, man. We'll be here next Wednesday.
We are.
Let's go.
Chop